You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on it. We Rick flaring on it, flaring on the Rolex wearing.
Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's backpack, capital one. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? You already know what it is. Your boy Scotty back with another one. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody doing well. Make sure you wipe your feet when you get in here and like the show. Like the drink. Okay? Now, before I get into today's Slow and the Restless, right? I know you guys see me drinking this Fiji water, but I'm not that bougie. So what I do is we get these liters, and I don't like drinking a big liter on the show. So I pour so it makes me look fancy, right? You know what I'm saying? it makes me look fancy. Okay, it makes me look fancy. So when you see me drinking Fiji water, it's probably Essentia poured into the bottle, and I just found out Essentia is really bad. So we would probably gonna have to be giving that away anytime soon. But anyway, listen, today's show, very, 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 very strong topic. Dealing with the slow and the restless, right? And on today's episode, we're going to go through the cast members and we're going to give you the diagram of what's been going on Slow and the Restless. I say again, Slow and the Restless. On today's episode. That's what we're doing. All right. Breaking it all down for you. You already know how it is. Can't get no better. You already know. You here with me. Okay, you're here with me on Slow and the Restless. All right. So before we get into the Slow and the Restless today, you already know what's elite storytelling. You can't have elite storytelling without Elite 15 coffee. Okay? Elite 15 coffees. The Slow and the Restless is sponsored by Elite 15 coffee. If you want your elite ways and you want to be elite in your thoughts, come and get Elite 15 coffee. Could be yours for the price is right of $19.99. And if you order now, you get an extra bag free for Elite 15 coffee. All right, make sure you get yourself some Elite 15 coffee in the link description below, okay? That's how we doing it out here. And also, listen, we still on the road to 300. Make sure you get that membership in. If you haven't already become a member, become a member. Listen, my wife told me something dope today. She was like, you know what your membership is? Your membership is your tithes and offerings. Oh! She said that's what membership is they tithes and offerings. I said, I love that, baby. So if you are a member of the Offscript church and community, okay, where you can be blessed and fed and laugh all in the same opportunity, you need to be paying your tithes and offerings. You are not paying your tithes and your offerings to the congregation. Listen, you know what I'm saying? These lights ain't free. These jokes ain't free. Okay, pay your offering, pay your tithes and offerings. Okay, with a like as well. With a hit the like button too. Part of your tithes and offerings. Okay, so make sure you get a part of your tithes. Give cheerfully with a willing heart. Okay, but that's what the Bible. What the Bible says: give cheerfully and not begrudgingly. Okay, oh, that's a word. That is an absolute word. Okay, so we gonna get into that. Make sure you be a part of your offering, tithes and offerings. You know, my wife. Listen, man. My wife is super churchy. She can make anything about church. Okay, listen. When she said that to me, I said, "Oh man, that's I hit it with the we got a new member to the Offscript paying his tithes and his offering. Thank you, Brother Ruben. Thank you, Brother Ruben, for being a member of the community and paying your tithes and offerings. We shows do appreciate you. Okay, and as Kofi would say, Shando. Okay, Shando. So, but my wife can make anything about church. Absolutely anything about church. So, wanted to make that. But you know, we love adding new members to the congregation. You know what I'm saying? Because this does not run without the congregation. Okay, without the members and your faithful tithe and giving in this great Thursday afternoon. All right, you already know what it is. We're going to get right into the show of the what? The Slow and the Restless. That's what we get into today. The Slow and the Restless. Now, I know you man was like, Scotty, how do you come up with this stuff? And I swear to God, I do not know. It just really hits me. It really just hits me. I be sitting here behind the computer, and I was like, this is like a soap opera. And then I was like, Days of Our Lives? I said, nah, the Days of Our Lives theme song don't hit. Like, it don't really hit. It don't hit like the Young and the Restless. So that's why I was like, The Slow and the Restless. I said it was gonna be the Dumb and the Restless, but you know, I'm maturing, right? So I wanted to tone it down just a tad. I didn't want to go full off script, but I wanted to tone it down. Because you know, when you go too hard, then people be like, oh, he just so mean, and they don't want to hear the message. They just still stuck on the dumb. You know what I'm saying? Even though it be dumb stuff, they stuck on the dumb. They be like, oh, you couldn't call it anything else? Like the Slow and the, well, I called it the Slow and the Restless because I don't want no people to be like, Scotty's just so mean. He just called people dumb, right? So that's what we're here for. So let's meet the cast of the Slow and the Restless. Now there are some others, but this is the majority of the cast of the Slow and the Restless. Now, if you have seen this show more than once, you already know who fills up the slow part. Okay? You already know who gets the title of the slow part. Okay? Or it would have been the dumb. But once again, people say I be so mean. So I just be like, you know what? It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. I'm going to just leave it alone. Just as it goes. Now, let's introduce said cast. Now, I have told my wife I will no longer be calling him Dr. McNugget. Okay? I'm growing. Okay? I'm maturing. Okay? So I will no longer be calling him Dr. McNugget. I'll call him Dr. Charles. Okay? So if y'all want to still call him Dr. McNugget, that's on you. That's your prerogative. Let your wife deal or your husband deal with you as they may. My wife said, we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that. So Dr. Charles is to your left. Your right, my left. In the middle is the beautiful Kendra Book Major, the executive director of the OBC. And the bald-headed man all the way to the end is my guy, Mr. Hardy Pelt from Urban Edge Network. So if you did not know these characters, I have now introduced you to the cast of the what? The Slow and the Restless. Okay? That is the cast of today's The Slow and the Restless. Okay? So, starting off, we gotta go deep because you know when you're building a soap, you gotta go deep. You gotta understand who the characters are, right? So let me just give you a little background because a lot of you guys know of Kendra, but you don't know Miss Kendra. Let me not call her Kendra like I know her on a first name basis. It's Miss Kendra for my mama slap me crazy, okay? Miss Kendra. Now, Miss Kendra Bullock Major is the executive director of the OBC. I said that. Is a serial entrepreneur and business professional with over 18 years of experience in business development, acquisition, and management. In 2018, Kendra furthered her mission of helping youth by obtaining the rights to the once prominent and highly attended OBC. Right? Again, Kendra is one of the few women to own exclusive rights to the sports property professionally. Kendra purchased her first company, All Security Insurance Services, in 2000, which she still owns today. In 2003, she started her All Secure Title and Trust Group, specializing in real estate title insurance and escrow services, managing small to multi-million-dollar acquisitions in both personal and commercial transactions. She is still actively involved in managing the real estate title and escrow today. What all this says to me, the girl know her business. The girl know her business. But you gotta go deeper, Scotty. Scotty, I gotta know these characters on the Slow and the Restless. On the Slow and the Restless, right? So let's go into a little deeper. Let's talk a little Hardy Pelt. Hardy Pelt has extensive work experience in the sports and media industry. Hardy began his career in 1988. I wasn't even born yet. As a basketball operations assistant intern for the Orlando Magic. In 93, they moved him to Clear Channel Media Entertainment Grand Rapids as the account executive. In 98, He became the corporate sales manager for the Portland Trail Blazers and at the Rose Quarter from 2000 to 2007. He worked for the Golden State Warriors in various roles, including the vice president of corporate sales, services, and executive director. Corporate sales and services in 2007, they began working as a referral partner for the Isaiah 60 Strategies. Most recently in 2021, he became the founding member of the chief revenue officer of Urban Edge Network. Once again, you got to understand the characters to tell a story, right? And I'm just trying to give you some depth to the characters, right? Because to understand the soap and the story, you got to know the background. And finally, Dr. Charles. Let's talk about him. Prior to arriving to the now this is a long bio, so bear with me. Let me get some water. Me. On the what? On the Slow and the Restless. Prior to arriving at the conference office, McClellan, I don't think it's fair to put his what he's done at the conference. That's just me personally. So if y'all disagree, I just wanted to give you, some background. As the vice president of intercollegiate athletics at Texas Southern University, located in Houston, Texas, a lot of fluff, he initially took over the helm of TSU athletics in April 2008 as the director of athletics. In February 2015, McClellan was promoted to the title of vice president of intercollegiate athletics. McClellan supervised a total of 16 sports, 9 women's and 7 men's at Texas Southern. His daily duties included fundraising, managing budgets, team scheduling, marketing, and keeping abreast of current NCAA rules and regulations. Next. Upon McClellan's watch, athletic facilities steadily improved over the years with the refurbishing of department's weight room and multiple locker rooms, as well as having a track surrounding Dury Field and resurfaced in 2012 for the annual TSU Relays. Dury Stadium now boasts one of the best running surfaces in the region, and TSU Relays annually ranks top 5 in attendance of all track and field hosted in NCAA D1. Additionally, inside of Hbcu Arena, hardwood floors was refurbished, giving the faculty a fresh new look starting in 2011 and 2012. In the spring of 2016, McClellan solidified funding in the amount of what? $1 million to renovate the football field house and replace the football soccer turf at Dury Field. Lastly, perhaps his biggest facility achievement yet was McClellan's role in finalizing a deal with Houston Dynamo soccer team to share the newly constructed 22-seat 1,000 BVV Compass Stadium for Tigers football. The Texas Southern Tigers football team began playing there in their new home in 2012. Located in downtown Houston, BBVA Compass Stadium is a state-of-the-art facility with all of the amenities and features of premier sports venue. The venue got cut off. And again, you got to know the characters to know the depth. Now, quick recap. Can we all just agree on this? The business that has been done between these individuals is just tremendous compared to the SWAC commish. Can we all agree that? Listen, if you don't agree with me, thumbs up, thumbs down, let me know. Right? Let me get a 1 if you agree. Let me give it 2. Because in my personal opinion, when I'm getting the depth of these characters and I'm building out the plot for the story, just off resume alone tells me that Kendra and Hardy have done more business. I say that again. Business than the SWAC commish. Can we all agree? I see some thumbs. Okay, I like it. I'm seeing some thumbs. I'm seeing some ones, thumbs, ones, two. I just want to make sure we're seeing the same thing in this plot. Because when I tell the story, I need for you to understand what the situation is that goes on. Okay. Now I have a question. Do y'all remember when? Do y'all remember when I lost my mind? I remember when I lost my. I'm sorry.
Let me take y'all back, man. As I do so well. Let me take y'all back, man. As I do so well.
It wasn't nothing like that. It wasn't nothing like that. Now, if you all recall, because I have talked extensively about this issue, right? Extensively. I gotta show you the depth of the characters, right? That's why the story is called The Slow and the Restless. If you remember when there was a time where the SWAC was actually suing Urban Edge Networks. Now that's flipped, and that's a whole nother story. But this was an email that was sent out by the commissioner that Fox News, right, had received on behalf of the commissioner. I'll read this to you. But at any entity that is approaching Pepsi Company for the media buys and referencing broadcasting SWAC games should be evaluated more closely. It has been brought to my attention that several entities have approached some of our corporate partners, others regarding media buys for SWAC games. Just for your information, SWAC conference games cannot be streamed or broadcast on a national basis outside of conference agreements. In addition, member institutions cannot grant permission to other entities to broadcast games, either linear or digital, on a national basis. All conference games are restricted and can only be negotiated by the conference office.
Let me take y'all back, man. As I do so well.
Let's dive even deeper. It gets better. I'm just trying to drudge up the character, right? The je ne sais quoi of said character of why he is in The Slow and the Restless. McClellan made it clear to SWAC leadership that he intends to resolve the issue, stating that the league intends to file a counterclaim, potentially for fraud or false representation. SWAC intends to fight this lawsuit vigorously and aggressively. McClellan wrote, "We will not stand by and allow third parties to take advantage of the SWAC in our institutions." Now, that was after Grambling made its announcement on getting or partnering with UAN. But this one's the kicker, though. Let me take y'all
back, man. As I do so well.
The SWAC recently sent Grambling State University a reprimand threatening sanctions if broadcasted a game on a third-party network. The potential sanctions include forfeiting all conference financial distributions, loss of a SWAC championship eligibility, and recouping of damages and expenses by the SWAC. Now, Scotty, you're going to ask me, what happened to that? Ask me who's broadcasting Grambling State spring game. Just ask me. Just ask me who. Urban Edge Network. Woo! Boy, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up on the Slow and the Restless. Now, I would not be, now Hardy gonna kill me for this, but I won't be surprised because the last news that I got, the game this Saturday for Grambling is going to be broadcast on Urban Edge Network, HBCU League Pass. I would not be surprised if I was about to say McNugget, if Dr. Charles calls Travis Scott, who then tells Hardy, hey, I was Dr. Charles was watching, he was watching Offscript, man, because okay, I'm going off script a little bit. He's not part of the cast, but he's part of the Slow and the Restless too, right? Because Scott's the kind of guy who wants to play both sides of the fence, so he don't want to ruffle no feathers, because he know the SWAC ain't paying him, and he broke, and he know Urban Edge been buying all the championship rings that they've been receiving. So you can't bite the hand that's paying for stuff, nor are you bold enough and have a big enough backbone, big back, to say no to Charles McClellan and tell him to go do something else with his life. You are to oversee, not to dictate. Okay? It's not how this works. You oversee. If you don't believe me, go look at the ACC versus Florida State. You oversee. You do not dictate. You do not dictate. So I won't be surprised if all of a sudden, miraculously, another letter comes down and tells them that they can't broadcast the game on Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Just say Scotty warned y'all, okay? But, it is what it is. Anyway, I see y'all talk with Dr. Scott's birthday. Happy birthday. Urban Edge fell in your lap, and now you look like as a competent AD when you're really not, and you broke. Happy birthday. Anyways, let's continue. Now, my thing is this. The soap, the story, the plot line just keeps getting better. Okay, let's set the stage, right? You have a commissioner calling Urban Edge Network a scam, essentially, telling everybody to run for the hills. You have a multi-million-dollar lady, millionaire, with Kendra, who's ran businesses before, who owns the OBC, who did right by FAMU. That's a whole nother story, right? But somehow, some way, they seem to find each other and say, you know what? This makes sense. Let's partner. Let's partner. Shout out to Mr. Mosley for writing this article on Sports Legends, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, HBCU Legends. Let me read that to you. Denny's Orange Blossom Classic extends exclusive streaming partnership with Urban Edge Network HBCU Plus app. Hey, listen. I lived in Atlanta. I know some scammers, okay? And if you doing it like this, that's a good damn scam. This is a pretty good damn scam. Listen, that's what I'm saying. You scamming at another level. Because I need y'all to understand. I need y'all to understand about this soap that I'm trying to build the story so you guys can see the story. Urban Edge Networks has partnered with the University of Georgia. Urban Edge Networks has partnered with the University of Purdue. Urban Edge Network has the GAC conference. Urban Edge Network had just signed another conference. I can't say, but just know that Langston plays in them, okay? That's all, I'm gonna leave it at that. So there's deal after deal after deal, team after team after team, conference, Ohio State, thank you, Yard Talk, also Ohio State. So when I say this scam is just crazy, they scamming out the world. They scamming out the wazoo. That's some next level scamming. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Let's go a little further. It says, the Urban Edge Network HBCU Plus platform has entered a 3-year contract extension with Denny's Orange Blossom Classic. The exclusive partnership will allow UEN to stream the OBC ancillary events in Miami Gardens on the HBCU Plus app. Those events include the Battle of the Bands, coach press conferences, business seminars. And one better, yours truly potentially might have a pregame show for the OBC. Yes, sir. So what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, let me explain to you why this is a good deal, right? Let me explain to you why this is good business. And what I want you to understand is you have one business person to another business person, right? And then you have a slew of people, part of the Slow and the Restless, who don't know shit about business, and they telling you what business does not. Let me go back. Okay. Anyway, let me explain to you why this is a good deal and why this is so. You might not think it's monumental, but you might see it as a microcosm, but I see it as monumental. And let me explain to you why. You have to understand that the OBC is in a new direction, right? They can't just wake up and have fans. It's not Dion walking through that door and the original big girl took FAMU out of the game, right? So they can't just wake up and say, you know what, we're the OBC, come to the game. So what they do in a pivot, right, because you got Alabama State, which ain't nothing but a hop, skip, and jump away from, Miami or whatever, and then you have NCCU. But to make people feel part of the culture, you got to show what they missing. If the only way you get involved in the game is watching it on television and that the next year you don't want to come out, or if I can't make a profit off of you coming to the game, I can at least make a profit off your eyeballs. So listen, this game has to, for it to continue, it has to be self-sufficient on its own, right? The entity, the game, the surrounding events have to orchestrate itself to be a revenue stream for it to continue to keep going on and for her to keep blessing HBCUs with this opportunity, right? Because when NCCU and Andrew Buddy touched down in Miami, you have to bring the eyeballs to it. Once again, there is no Dion. There is no Willie. There is no fam, right? There is no Paho State. There's none of that to lay off of. So you have to build a new foundation. And with understanding how to pivot, right? And how to go about doing what you got to do, you find another way to capitalize on a revenue stream with eyeballs. So that's why this is so monumental, right? You add the Battle of the Bands so people can go watch that. You add a pregame show so you can make money into that advertisement. You add the coaches' press conference. People want to know what is going on in the surrounding. And then maybe next year you actually go to the game. Why? Because you're like, man, that looked dope. The Battle of the Bands, that looked fire. Oh, this looked dope. And this looked. And now you plan next year to go make that trip to Miami. You see what I'm saying? The only way, you got to see it to believe it. Sometimes you got to see the environment to be like, man, I don't want to miss that, right? It is what it is. So once again, right, in the a part of the slow and the restless, it's, oh man, that, hey, I like that. I like that, Smash. I'm a connect you with, you know, I'm an official OBC member. I'm not on the board. I'm like at the kiddie table. You know how you got like the Thanksgiving table and all the adults? That's the board. I'm at the kiddie table, but I'm close though. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, pass the peas like you used to. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. I'm close. You know what I'm saying? I'll be rubbing some elbows. You know what I'm saying? Make that happen. So it's when I show you the cast in total, and I show you the people who make up the slow and the restless, just think about this. You have, I just want you to understand this. You have a woman who's only been a compliance director in her whole career running your business athletics, sponsorships, marketing, all that. She's never done it. Never. And you see it. She's never fundraised. You see it, right? You see the impact of what happens when you hire from the slow and the restless, right? I'm not going to speak on anything about the nuclear physicist or neurologist that Larry is, right? Because running FAMU, he's done pretty well, they tell me, right? He's done pretty well, top 10, five, number one public, blah, 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 blah. The ninja can't hire for shit. You can't hire for shit. I'm just keeping it a buck with you, right? Just keeping it a buck with you. And then he got punked by the commissioner of pulling out of the UEN deal. And, oh, you want to know something else? Part of the slow and the restless? Guess who's getting sued? By Courtney Gaucher. I say it's FAMU. FAMU is getting sued by one Courtney Gaucher. Yes! Yes! Okay? For wrongful termination, he is suing FAMU. So once again, let me show you the pattern. The commissioner tells FAMU that they can't sign up for UEN. They've already signed up to UEN. The president doesn't know he don't have the right to say no because they already had signed over their rights to somebody else. And that person who had their rights signed it with the next person, which was UEN. So in all that chaos, Courtney Gaucher gets fired. And then comes back around to the commissioner of why he's getting sued at the SWAC for tortoise interference. And some other legalities as well. I'm telling you, when I say that this is a soap opera of the slow, and it damn should have been called The Dumb and the Restless. I'm sorry. I should have called this mug The Dumb and the Restless, for real. Because these are the triplets of stupidity. Of pure stupidity. Starting with the woman. She pulls out of the Orange Blossom Classic the Bama she can't balance her damn budget, and then you pull out of a guaranteed $500,000. What? The ninja in the middle is a damn neuroscientist and didn't know that we already signed over our rights to a third party so they control it and they can do whatever the hell they want to it. And then last but not least, the slowest one of them all, the head of the TP, says, you know what? I'm going to sell my shoes, underwear, my undershirt to HBCU Go for they to broadcast our games, and then they turn around and only show 25 live sports. Welcome to the slow and the restless. This is what this looks like when you have idiots in positions of business and don't know what the hell they doing. You get the slow and the restless. But I will say this. All right, explain that. But y'all listen to these. But y'all listen to these. The revolution will be televised. Okay? The revolution will be televised. Listen. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people, right? I'm not here to be buddy-buddy with nobody, right? As you can see, I don't get invited to all the parties. I don't get invited to all the stuff. But you know who name ring bells, though? You know who they whispering about in them dark corners. You better hide. Listen, I'm like Debo when I walk up and down these HBCU streets. Who coming? Scotty. Who? Scotty. Okay? Better hide your dirt. Better hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your dirt. Because the revolution will be televised. Okay? Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. It's just funny to me that when listen. I had two conversations today. One with Mr. Pelt and then one with another associate that I know who deals with HBCU stuff. And he said, let me tell you what this man said. This is what bothers me about HBCUs, but people don't want to believe me. The guy said, you know what, Scotty? I had applied to HBCU positions and no HBCU returned my calls. I didn't get an interview or nothing. He said, I get hired by Valdosta. And then people, now the HBCUs are reaching back out to him like, oh, I think we have a position. Oh, I think we can. This is why your best and your brightest aren't in your community, aren't in your ecosystem, right? And shout out to D2 HBCU football. He told me this. He said one of his presidents, Dr. Johnson at Tuskegee, he said this. He said Dr. Johnson told him that an HBCU campus is like a living organism. He said anything and everything you want to find has either come into the gates, is on campus, or connected to the gates. I'm going to say that again. He said everything you need and want is either has come into the gates, is on campus, or is connected to the gates. Okay? So my thing is this, and I'm going to keep saying it. And I shout out to D2 HBCU football. He told me the founders of Tuskegee, He said in like 1904, if I'm not mistaken, he said 1904, something like that. He said that founders of Tuskegee went out and raised $2 million in 1904. In 1904, the Tuskegee founders went out and raised $2 million. Now, I would like to think we're past that time. I would like to think we could do better than that. But my issue is that I'm going to keep saying it every time I get an opportunity to. When you have Bamas in place that don't know what the hell they doing, and they're leading you astray, and they're if anybody's ever seen the movie The Croods, my kids love that movie, right? My kids love The Croods. And if you've ever seen the animated movie The Croods, the dad is so fearful of the outside world that he keeps his kids in a cave. Just keeps them in a cave. Everything scares him. He keeps them in a cave. That is what bad leadership does for HBCUs. Bad leadership keeps you in a cave. Bad leadership keeps you in the dark. And instead of you thinking that everybody in front of you is in your best benefit, instead of thinking that, oh, they gotta know, no, they don't always know. That is why you challenge people. That's why you ask people to explain their reasoning. But I digress. I'm not here to keep y'all. That has been my time. All I'm going to say is this. On the Slow and the Restless is this. Be diligent in what you think is a scam and what is not a scam. And be also mindful and diligent that everybody that's in charge, or everybody that's supposed to know what they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. And it's clear by the Slow and the Restless, the extras, the extra class, they don't know what they're doing. But that's been my time. Until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm a holla. God bless.